Alright, welcome back to Pennsylvania once again. And today we are in Burnville, Pennsylvania, here in Berks County. And we're going to be doing another cemetery video here. This one has some haunted history to it as well. So I was looking for something to do this evening. Not too far from home. We don't have a whole lot of time. There is a severe thunderstorm this evening, so I can see the clouds off in the distance. But I checked the radar before I came. We should have enough time to get some filming in here today before the storms come. Alright, and I have some mail to share with you as well. Actually, some pretty cool packages came in that I want to share with you as well. And share a little bit of other news of what's going to be coming up in the future. Alright, so here is the cemetery. And this cemetery, like a lot of other small town cemeteries here in Pennsylvania, all the churches are using the same area, but each church kind of has its own plot. You know, in some towns, each church has its own cemetery, you know, kind of behind the church. But I'm noticing that in these towns, you know, they all use kind of the same area. Like this, we're in what's called the Haag Cemetery. Actually, I recognize my statue down there from the internet research. I think it's where we want to go. But across the street is another church cemetery, I think called the St. Thomas Cemetery. We might have a look at some of those older ones as well. And you can see the storm clouds off in the distance too. Quaint little spot though. So we are currently in the newer part of the cemetery. You can tell by the tombstones, a lot of them have that newer look. You know, some more recent burials, you know, 2005. But we want to get down to that older section down there. And you might be able to make out that statue down there. That's where we're headed. Yeah, here's the name of the cemetery. The Haag Cemetery. Established in 1867. I think there are some older cemeteries out here. Maybe on the other side of the road, but we'll see if we get to those or not. You can see those storm clouds getting closer. Yeah, now we're in the older section. You can see the older dates. Got 1875 right here that they're born. There's our statue. Probably a Civil War soldier here, yeah, because that's what our statue is as well. Who's this? Cyrus, there's a name for you. Cyrus Burkhart, 154th Regiment, 15th Company. Let's see what this is up here. Looks like a giant cross. Nathan Dundor, born in 1834, died in 1899. I can say I've never seen a tombstone like this before, in the shape of a cross. You often see crosses, you know, like up on the top of tombstones, but I've never seen one in this shape before. That's pretty cool. This is what we're looking for, though. It should be George. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name offhand here. George Fehrenbach, I guess you would say. Born in 1846, died in 1919. There's his statue. A little bit more information about him here. 151st Regiment, Corporal, 55th Regiment, his wife and Mary. So the haunted aspect of the cemetery is that people come here and they see the apparition of a woman or a female spirit here. at this cemetery. And it's usually associated with, where is he back there? With George back there with his statue. So some people think it's his wife, or who knows. So I've expressed how I feel about these haunted stories in the past. I don't generally believe in the hauntings themselves, but they make cool stories. Now there's crows flying around this cemetery. That's kind of creepy. Let me turn around, see if we can catch them. You can see them flying around up there. There's a bunch of them back there. Just behind the trees. There they go. Crows in a haunted cemetery. Reminds me of that poem by, was it Edgar Allan Poe? Quoth the raven nevermore. These are crows, not ravens, but similar. Alright, so I'm hoping not to see an apparition or a spirit here. Like I said, I think I got cut off there. Got distracted by the crows. I don't really believe in hauntings so much, but I think they make cool stories. Not that the possibility of a haunting isn't possible at all, but I think most of the stuff is kind of, anyway. But they make for cool legends and stories and places to come make videos. Here's a cool, let me show you this grave right here. Yeah, we left George way up there. Now I've come down to the older parts and check this one out. This is interesting. There's like a little bowl there. Not quite sure. I should have that book. What cemetery symbols mean here. I don't think I've ever seen one quite like that. Oh, it's full of symbols. Mother. Sweet be thy rest. Alright, so like I said, I do want to share some mail with you. I got three packages came in recently, all pretty cool. One is from Mary and John. I think they're from Buffalo, I think, up there in New York. But they sent me, got a little note here, but cool book, Understanding Cemetery Symbols. How, ironic that we're in a cemetery. I didn't quite plan it that way. But yeah, this will be a cool book to look through because, all the times, well, I'm sitting right next to a tombstone here, but the older tombstones have interesting symbols to them, and you don't always quite know, well, I don't always quite know what they are. Some of them are very interesting symbols, but this book is full of information and pictures about the meanings behind all the different symbols. And a lot of you have been helpful in that as well as in the comments. So this will be interesting. There's the cover again. Understanding Cemetery Symbols by, there's a name down there. So pretty cool. So thank you for that book. That will get read. Next package. This is from Brooklyn. Got a nice little note from her. And she sent me something really interesting. Some of these old, kind of like books or bulletins on caves in certain places in Pennsylvania. They're called bulletins. Like here's the caves of Northumberland County, Pennsylvania. And these were made back in the 60s. They have that old look to them. I think it was the 60s. They got all kinds of information. One second here. They're full of maps for the caves. So that's pretty cool. I did have one of these that someone gave me before about caves in southeastern Pennsylvania. So these are really helpful. Man, there's a lot of information in these though. I don't know how many of these I'll ever be able to explore. A lot of these are on private land, and caves on private land I'm pretty much not going to be able to explore unless I was invited by the property owner to do so. But these are fun because you gotta read about the cave on here, try to find it on Google Maps, research it. Is a place that's accessible to the public and things like that. But man, I've only touched the surface of looking through these. I mean, this one here in Center County got a thick, lots of stuff to look through. So this is pretty exciting to get too. So two really cool gifts. I got one more though. So the next one was in a big package. This is from Liz. Here's the card she sent. Nice little bird. She got this for me. I hope there's enough room on here to show this to you. Not all, has my phrase on there. Well, not all who wander are lost. Back pretty far for it. Of course, if you're not familiar with that phrase, you know, that comes from The Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit, you know, written by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's part of a larger poem about Aragorn. Not all who wander are lost. Not all that glitters is gold, and so on and so on. The sword that was broken shall be... Oh, I forget the poem now, but I used to have it memorized. Yes, I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd as well. I'm trying to think of what it was. Anyway. Yeah, just remember the last part of that poem. The crownless again shall be king. That was the last one. There's actually a song on YouTube. There's a cool group that takes a lot of those Tolkien poems and set them to music. But this is pretty cool. This looks nice in my room. And it's got that, what you call like pin art or nail art, where you hammer nails in and you wrap thread around the nails to make the designs. It's pretty accurate of my hikes. Sometimes there's a trail that goes that way, and there's a trail that goes, you know, the other way, and I don't know which one to take. Or sometimes I do know which one to take, but I want to go take both of them because I want to know what's down both trails. And anyway, so that's pretty cool. So thank you, Liz, for that. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get back to walk around this cemetery. So this is a neat little cemetery. Got all these old cedar trees surrounding it. You know, nothing from the 1700s, which is what I like to find in cemeteries, but still enough character to it. Of course, you got that dead tree up there, it gives it some character. Let's see what we got up here. Of course, someone's mowing their lawn in the background. What do we got here? That's a cool little rose in the middle there, in memory of Henry, born in 1821. I think there are a few other short videos on YouTube where people come here and I guess they hear something or see something. I didn't actually watch any of those videos because they're only like 30 seconds long, and I don't know, it's usually nothing to see anyway from my experience. But if you're interested, I think I did, when I was doing some Google research, I saw several videos on this cemetery. Nice little place though. Yeah, and I also mentioned at the beginning I want to share some news. I am later this week, today's June, what is today, the 22nd I believe, a Monday evening. Later this week I'm headed down to Virginia, all the way down to the Roanoke area. I'll have to pick up something special, which I won't mention in this video, and then I'll be heading down early Thursday morning to get down to Roanoke around 8 o'clock. And then I got one hike planned that day. I'll be camping out somewhere, and then on the way home on Friday I hope to stop at quite a few places on the way home. So coming up, you'll be seeing some videos from Virginia, hopefully. Never filmed in Virginia before. I've been to Virginia plenty of times, but not recently actually. But anyway, so you'll be seeing some things from Virginia coming up soon here. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So once again, here's George. Neat little statue, actually. And I'm sensing absolutely nothing, you know, eerie about this place. It's actually like I said, it's a pretty cool spot. Look at those clouds coming in. That's a pretty cool shot there though. Yeah, you got the old tombstones, the cedar trees, and the dark stormy clouds rolling in. Now all you need is a ghost running across the screen. I don't think we'll see one of those. Alright, so just a quick little video. You know, if you want to learn more about this cemetery, obviously you can do more research online. I didn't really find a whole lot more about it. Found just a few references to the why it was haunted, that there was that female apparition that would come here certain times. It's a neat little place to visit if you're in the area. Because I wanted to share some packages with you and some of that news as well. So I was just looking for a place to come hang out this evening a little bit. I think I picked a good spot. So alright. I do want to get out of here before the heavens open up. They're definitely rolling in. Alright. So thanks for joining me again. Thanks for coming along. And I'll see you around. And probably the next video you see, I'll be down in Virginia. Because I don't plan on making another video between now and when I head down on Thursday. So gotta get ready to go. All right, I'll see you around.